But if I was to use this as an analogy for India's caste system, and if I was to use the politically incorrect word right now of Brahmin, and say the thinker is the Brahmin, right?
Yes, okay.
Mythology has, over thousands of years, given the Brahmin an exalted position in society.
Yes.
While everybody else is equally important, somehow the Brahmin is more important than everybody else.
Yes.
How did this get embedded and ingrained in our thinking to the extent that it became a rigid caste system and not a system which believed that each one has its own importance and his own place, and each one is important at a particular point in time, right?
Okay. Let's separate the reality of society from the thoughts that mythology is trying to communicate, and this society is being informed by a set of stories, and how much have we actually heard? There is clearly a delta between what is being communicated and what is being heard and imbibed.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep that as a hypothesis.
Okay.
So let's accept that we know that our society has almost some dehumanizing practices, you know, denying people water, touch. I mean, there is no way on earth that you can justify that under any circumstances.
And yet they use the scriptures
They
to
use the
justify
scriptures.
this.
So let's relook at the scriptures. Let's put the lens back on the scriptures and see what the scriptures are saying. Let's look at the word Brahmin. It means someone who facilitates the discovery of Brahman. This word comes from the Upanishads. It basically means the infinite potential of a human being to outgrow his animal instincts and discover divinity. So this is the infinite potential that all of us possess. Every human being possesses this. And what is the
Brahman is a quality.
Is a quality. And he who facilitates this journey was called a Brahmin.
Okay.
This has to be separated from another word which means Brahma, which is the word for creator.
Right.
And remember, in India we don't worship the creator. What did he create that he's unworthy of worship?
You've told us this in a previous episode, the rat race.
The rat race. He created the competitive spirit which is suitable for animals fighting over resources.
But not for human beings trying to outgrow their animal instincts.
Absolutely. So this is the model, right? Now let's look at Ramayana and Mahabharata. In the Ramayana, who is the villain? It is Ravan. What is Ravan? Repeatedly the narrative is, Ravan is a Brahmin.
He's the thinker.
He's the thinker.
So we have to be careful here with the use of the Brahmin. Because in India today, it is a political issue, right?
Yes.
So let's make it clear to our viewers that we're using Brahmin as a substitute for the word thinker.
Ravan is a thinker. He's supposed to be, he comes from the family of thinkers. He has got 10 heads. That means he's capable of thinking much more than others.
Most people,
So what is it that he's supposed to do? He's supposed to direct people in this direction.
Right.
Towards
the discovery of Brahman.
Of Brahman. And what does he behave like? He's competitive. And he celebrates his animal instincts. And so the Ramayana looks at the destruction of Ravan. It is the greatest sin. The killing of the Brahman is the greatest sin. And that's what the scripture is actually showing. Ram is saying that, no, this is unacceptable. This behavior is unacceptable. But he still celebrates the idea of the thinker. And so after killing Ravan, he performs an act of penance, saying that I respect the idea of the person, of the thinker.
And definitely not what the person has become.
Not what the person has become. Now look at the Mahabharata. In here you have a teacher called Drona. He is a Brahmin too. And what does he create? Students who fight with each other over property. What kind of a thinker is this? What kind of a teacher is this? What is Drona attached to? Drona is attached to his son called Ashwathama.
Okay.
And he's so attached to his son that he justifies his entire life based on that, his son, and taking care of his son. So he earns money for his son, he gives tuitions for his son, he builds empires for his son. He sees a family breaking itself, breaking apart and fighting a great war, and he doesn't feel there's anything wrong. He is the teacher. He has the teacher of the Kauravas and Pandavas, and what has he taught them? What has all that education led to? Potentially a great massacre. And he's not ashamed of it. He feels, well, he's almost sounding like a professional, saying I did what I did and they are responsible for it. And so in the battlefield, Krishna says he's so attached to his son, he's so obsessed with his son. Let's use his son against him. Let's tell him that Ashwathama is dead. And the man is so attached to his son, he doesn't wait to find out whether the Ashwathama who is dead is his son or an elephant which has been killed by Bhima. and he lays down his weapons and says that I will not fight. My son is dead. He just assumes his son is dead. This is how obsessed he is with his son, that he lays down his weapon and he's beheaded. His head is cut off. Now this is a recurring theme in mythology. You have Brahma's head is cut off in mythology because he creates the competitive world. His head is cut off by Shiva. You have Ravan, who is killed by Ram. You have Drona, whose death is sanctioned by Krishna. It's almost as if they are going on the wrong path. The thinker is taking the society in a wrong direction. It shall not be forgiven. What he's supposed to do, any thinker, any leader, any designer, any strategist of an organization, is to take human beings to their higher potential, not to their base values.
Next week on Business Sutra.
Just talk to people who do business with Indians. You'll notice how exasperated they are. Typically people from Europe and America who are binary thinkers. They want a yes and no answer.
Not a maybe.
Not a maybe.
To send us your feedback, SMS BizSutra space your response or question and send it to 51818. Or you can email us at bizsutra@in.com. And you can watch this episode and the entire series on YouTube.